if you're still searching for that perfect Christmas gift, this might be the best option. Hey, this is John Young here. Today we're going to be looking at a tool kit. Now, I usually do an end of the year kind of a Christmas buying guide. This year, because of availability, we didn't get into that too much. But I've had a lot of people asking about what would be the best tool kit to get into for a person who's kind of a DIYer. That brought me to the Craftsman, the V20 series kit here. There's a lot of different kits out there. DeWalt, Milwaukee, Makita, Ryobi, they all have kits. And they have multiple versions. Some are brushless kits, some are brushed kits. So it's basically talking about the motors inside, how efficient and how much power they have, and how long they will have it to the batteries, how long the batteries will last. Well, of all of the kits out there, I personally think that this kit we're going to look at right here today is probably the best deal, the best bang for the buck. This comes in under $300. You can get it at the link down below from Lowe's. But the Craftsman, this is an 8-tool kit, and it's got 8 of the tools you will need around the home and your little workshop or garage. There's a lot of kits out there that have more and less, and obviously less is going to be cheaper than this, but a similar kit to this. Now this 8 again, with the tools that we're going to look at, is going to run you probably about $200 to $300 more in other brands. Now, one thing with the Craftsman is they have one pretty much line when it comes to their multi-tool kits like this. This is a brushed kit, so it's not a brushless. If you're into the brushless stuff and you got to have it, this isn't for you. For most people, they will never really know the difference between a brushed kit or a brushless kit, truthfully. The brushed tools will do a fine job, especially for the homeowner. If you're a commercial person who's out there doing a lot of stuff that way, there might be a need for brushless tools, but not for the average consumer. So we're going to just kind of do a little unboxing here. There's a tool bag. I've got a little pouch here that has a multi-tool blade. It's got some sanding, different pieces of sanders that also goes to that multi-tool. We've got our jigsaw blade. We have our reciprocal saw blade in there. And we'll set those off to the side. We've got another smaller tool bag. Now we're going to get into the meat of what's in our little kit here. Again, this is an 8-tool kit, and it's going to be covering the basics. And I like this a lot because these tools, we have used these for remodeling on the house. I have a kit that I had purchased, and then we wanted to get a second one here because the first one, I want to keep that, and this is truthfully going to be a gift for a family member. But we're going to look through that, and then I'll rebox it up, and we'll send it on its way. First off, we have a reciprocating saw right here. These all work on the same battery, the Craftsman V20, which is their line they came out with just a few years ago. A very nice piece. Weight-wise, it works really well. Balance and such, it's a nice tool. Let me pull a battery out here. This is the smaller 2 amp hour battery. But it's giving you a nice balance. You're not too heavy in the front. You're not too heavy on the back with this particular. You've got your quick attachment for your blade where you can put it in there. Quick and easy, and it's very functional for the homeowner. This could be used for, if you needed to put a new door in, you could use this to cut the wall out. If you needed to go trim a couple of tree branches, you can use this and go trim those branches. And there's a little bit of power in the battery too, just as we open it. So we have a reciprocating saw. Continue to dig into our kit here. Let's see, we've got the little filter, but this filter is going to be going to our little sander. There's a little 140 lumen flashlight. Now this isn't a really big flashlight. It doesn't give us a super bright area. I'm going to shine it right there so you can get an idea. You've got your hot spot. You've got a nice little spot on the sides where it gets a little bit, we get some distribution of light. But what's nice about these little lights is that they can be set on the floor. You can aim them a variety of different areas. They have a little spot there, so you could hang it if you needed to. It's nice that way. Truthfully, what I use this for is I have these around. I've got one on each side of this office. And if I come in and I need a quick little flashlight to go out and, say, check the air pressure in our tire, this is my little go-to flashlight because I can quick throw a battery on it and off I go, and it will last for hours. So there's a flashlight included. Let's continue in here. Next we've got, this is our little multi-tool that will allow us to have a variety of different attachments with the little multi-tool. You can go and you can put those on in there. We've got a variable speed we have on that. We've got our on-off switch. And you've got that multi-tool capability where you can put your multi-tool blade in there. I'm just going to drop that in there and make sure I get it kind of lined up. There we go. Now I have a little saw blade that can do some really intricate cutting. It can go and it can cut the trim. Say if you're going to be laying flooring and you need to cut the bottom of the trim, instead of trying to go with a hand saw, you can use this and run it right on the floor and cut and go zzz and trim right off the bottom. It's a very, you don't realize how many uses you can find for something like this until you have one. So the little multi-tool here is a really kind of a neat thing in this kit. We have a second battery, so there are 2 batteries in this kit. In the back, we've got our sander, our little sander. There we go. We've got a couple of different sander pads here. Now we're going to pull out our cardboard packing material and get to the bottom. Now the bottom, we've got a lot of stuff here, so we're going to be going through some really, really cool tools here. First off, we have our jig saw. Now our jig saw is, of course, based on the same battery. We've got our little operator presence switch that we've got some different adjustments and functionality with this. For most homeowners, this is going to be the best way to go and do some intricate circle cutting when you need to cut a circle into a piece of wood. And there is one in our box of goodies. Continuing on, here's our sander. It's an orbital sander. It uses the round pads we just looked at a moment ago. It has the Velcro bottom here, so you can put your sanding pads on there. It has the little spot. You can hook this up to your wet dry vac, or you can put the little filter on here to catch some of the dust. My recommendation, the wet dry vac. It's going to do a much nicer job of sucking the dust in. Little switch on the top. Very nice palm sander in our kit. Next we have our driver. This is different than a drill for those of you who are just getting into it. This has the 1/4 inch hex end where you can put in your different tool that you need, whatever your bit is. You basically put it in, snaps in, it gets locked in, and you've got your forward, your backward, and you're off and running with the driver. One of the pieces you probably will use the most in this kit is the traditional drill. We've got our different settings up on the top. It's a 2-speed drill. You've got your ability to drill. You've got all the different settings for the clutch, so you can go and set it where you need it to be. So if you're into softer material and you don't want to damage something, if you're putting together like those metal cabinets, you can kind of throttle it down, or you can crank it up and take it from there. One thing that's kind of neat about a lot of the tools that are out there in these kits is that they have a little light, and you can kind of see it. There's a little bit of an LED light in there that makes it a lot easier to be able to see where you're working. And that's such a neat addition to today's tools. We're nearing the end. We're down to our last tool in this, and this is the circular saw. The circular saw is what we would consider, some people would refer to this as a left-handed circular saw. Typically, as a right-handed person, the traditional saw that I would use would be the blade on the right side. But this one is on the left side, which is very common for a kit, the battery-operated kits. They usually have the saw blade like that. Now the blade itself is in here, and let's just take a look at that blade to give you an idea of what is sent out with this. The blade that they send out with this is an 18 tooth. It's a 6.5 inch with carbide teeth. So you've got a nice little blade that you will install in here, and you'll see a couple of things of how to install it. People are like, how does this work? Well, you kind of will look here, and you'll see in here it's got this little piece of paper that will tell you that the blade needs to spin this way. But this is the important part. On the housing, it will show you which way the blade is to go. Then you look at the blade itself. Typically, they will have on the middle right here arrows that the blade needs to go this way. So in our case, for this saw, the blade will go label out, because the blades have to be able to go and cut. They kind of cut up as they go around, and then they dump the sawdust in the back. 6.5 inch little circular saw with quick adjust, the ability to adjust the depth and your angle, and of course it's on the 20-volt system. The final piece is the charger. It's just a single battery charger, so you can keep one on the charger, and it doesn't take a ton of time to charge these. It goes really quite quick. One thing you'll notice on this is that it also will charge the V12 batteries, which I haven't seen much on the V12 batteries yet, so that'll be kind of interesting to see if there's going to be a line of batteries coming out in that 12-volt line. But right now it charges the V20 batteries, which can do the 2 amp hour that we have here. They also have 4 amp hour, which are about twice the height, and they can all be charged with this charger. So overall, I think this kit is the one. If you're looking for one to get a family member, this is probably the best starter kit you can get into. Yes, there are other brands that also have great kits, but if you're looking for something that will be able to be used in a variety of configurations and to be able to allow you to add things to it, I have a variety of different lights and tools that I've purchased for my Craftsman tool set. I just like to have something where one battery does a lot of stuff, and the Craftsman gives you that option. Their tools are available at Ace Hardware. Lowe's carries Craftsman. If you're in Minnesota, Fleet Farm carries Craftsman. You can get it there also. But we'll put links in the description below so you can go check this out from Ace Hardware and from Lowe's. This is John Young. Thanks for watching.
For more tips and how-to videos, go to weekendhandyman.com.